Well, good evening, race fans, and welcome to another action-packed night for the North-South Racing League's Grand National Stock Car Series. Tonight, the series heads to North Wilkesboro Speedway for the Moonshine Mile 100. 100 laps of action on tap as I bring in my co-star, the star of the show, Kelly Dahl.
Yeah, here at the North Wilkesboro Speedway, and we've already got qualifying underway. Josh Nelms currently on the top of the board with a 19.603. Number of drivers still yet to go. About only half the field has set a time so far, so we'll see if that 603 from Nelms will be enough to hang on to pole position.
Brian Troyer out on the racetrack right now as he'll cross the line in his Toyota Camry. Jumps up to 7th quick with a 19.860. 10 cars taking time so far, with Josh Nelms atop of the scoring pylon for qualifying here for the Moonshine Mile 100. Driver on the hot seat, well, it's the number 12 of Rodney Huntoon as J.J. McRae crosses the line. And McRae going to go top of the board with a 19.592.
Jeff Bergener going to be coming across the line next, as well as Justin Shepard. Dustin Shepard will be going 5th fastest with a 7.31. Josh Cole, 19.926. And Jeff Bergener puts down a 20.040, so may have just been warming up his tires. JJ McRae, though, he goes even faster on a second lap, 19.532.
Last week's winner goes Guillaume Fortin, the 13. Will go 14th quick on lap number 1 with a 19.995. He'll have to start shotgun here tonight with the shotgun rule as he comes off turn number 4 to put lap number 2. How about Brian Hacker to the top of the board with a 19.449. And Guillaume Fortin going to go 2nd quick with a 19.472. Well, how about that for Mr. Brian Hacker in the Austin Designs number 2. Going to go top of the board. Here comes Scott Austin in the number 5 car. He'll go 6th quick with a 19.598.
That looks like pretty much every driver now has put down a lap. The last driver still on track is Scott Austin here on his 2nd lap. We've seen a few drivers improve on the 2nd lap, so let's see if he can get himself a little bit better. Comes across the line and waiting for the update. I'm thinking he may have tagged the wall at some point. It looks like there will be no update to his time, so a 19.599 will be enough for Scott Austin. He will still make it into the redraw, though.
That he will, as that will conclude qualifying. Our top 8 cars that'll head into our redraw will be Brian Hacker, J.J. McRae, Ryan Johnson, Jeff Bergener, Scott Austin, Josh Nelms, Adam Gable, and Randy Nichols will be our fast 8 that'll go to the redraw. A reminder that Guillaume Fortin, well, he won last week. He has to start shotgun on the field. So let's take a look while we got a quick second at tonight's information as we have the new track records, which will be set by Brian Hacker. He grabs the Al Speed Shop Fast Time Award here tonight. And Ryan Johnson has the most wins here at the season here. But the first one for the Grand National Series, as we take a look at the current point standings, Randy Nichols comes in just 4 points over Ryan Johnson in the standings. Dan Janjanin sits 3rd, Guillaume Fortin, and Scott Austin as we get ready to head into tonight's weekly redraw presented by J&D Farms. J&D Farms is not your typical sponsor, just a cool cat that wanted to see his name on the broadcast and proud supporter of the North-South Racing League, and we are proud to bring you tonight's redraw in their name. And Kelly, we are getting ready to do this redraw, one of our favorite parts of the night here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Looks like you got everybody. I'm going to disappoint them, but congratulate him at the same time. Mr. Brian Hacker with Al's Speed Shop Fast Time Award here tonight. Brian, man, a fast hot rod, a good-looking hot rod by that as well. Glad to see you back on the racetrack for tonight's Moonshine Mile 100. What's it going to take to stay up front?
I think it's going to take a lot of patience. Cars a handful. Track is pretty slick tonight. It's hot. Track temps when we went out to qualify 127 degrees. So I got to keep the tires under. I got to stay patient. Got to stay off of others as much as I can. So we'll see. I don't have a lot of experience, really hardly any experience in these cars. So that's
All right, sir. Well, you get the pick of the litter 1 through 8. Which number would you like?
Oh, let's go lucky number 7.
Lucky number 7 is going to be P number 7. So starting on the inside, row number 4 for you with a nice fast hot rod. Can you get it done from there?
Yeah, I'm just going to run a race.
All right, sir. Well, we wish you the best of luck here, and we'll talk to you a little bit later, hopefully.
Thanks, Al.
All right, Brian Hacker jumps in there, set the fast time, Kelly, but it's going to have to start there in P number 7 as you catch up with our next driver, which will be the driver of, I believe that would be J.J. McCrae, will be our next driver.
Yeah, here now with JJ McCrae. And JJ, how is the car handling out there for you tonight?
Pretty good. Feels a bit tight. Like to work on getting it loosened up some, but we'll see what comes.
Well, the solution that I found to at least being tight, at least on exit, is if you just mash that right pedal real hard, it usually kicks it around.
Yeah, that's good. I don't have much trouble getting it loose on entry. I'm a natural at that, or loose on exit. I'm a natural at that, but loose on entry, I'd like to get more of that.
All right, well, number 7 has been taken. Other than that, what would you like here?
Is 8 available?
8 is available. Would you like to take that?
Yep.
Well, yeah, probably shouldn't have, because 8 is going to be P number 8 here tonight. So you're going to be sliding on back, starting alongside Brian Hacker. You think the two of you guys will be able to make a charge to the front, though, being some of the fastest drivers in qualifying?
Yeah, that'll make it fun. With any luck, from what I've seen in this series, he'll be a good guy. If you can follow him, you'll usually wind up towards the front. So, see if we get lucky.
All right, well, let's see if you can make that climb towards the front. Maybe we'll be talking to you a little bit later on. Good luck to you.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
So JJ McCrae draws number 8, and we'll start in P8 here tonight, Al.
Yes, he will. Next up will be a driver that's close to the top of the championship title battle. It's the driver of the 38 of Ryan Johnson. And Ryan, another fast-looking number 38 out here tonight. How's North Wilkesboro treating you, and what do you think you can expect out of this 38 car tonight?
I'm not really sure. So far, it seems really kind of loose, so just going to have to try and rein it in tonight, I think. It seems like it's loose in, loose off, so I think we'll be fighting that, but looking forward to it. Wilkesboro is usually a lot of fun, so hopefully we got another good one in store.
All right, I got some good news for you. The back row has been chosen already, so you can only start better than that. Numbers to choose from are 1 through 6. Which number would you like?
I'll do 3.
Number 3. You're going to be starting on the inside of row number 2, starting 3rd spot here tonight. Close to the front. Is that inside going to be a good starting spot for you?
Well, I hope so. We picked it, so. Yeah, I think inside will be preferred over the top. I haven't figured out how to run the top yet, so hopefully we don't have to.
All right, sir. We wish you the best of luck. Thank you for talking to us in our J&D Farms Top 8 redraw.
Thank you, guys.
All right, Ryan Johnson, Kelly going to roll off P number 3. Up next will be the 21 of Jeff Bergner.
Yeah, catching up now with the driver of the 21, Jeff Bergner. Jeff, it looks like a lot of different lines are starting to form here tonight. Do you think we're going to have a bit of a multi-groove race?
No, I think it's going to be one groove, middle. You're not going to be able to pass tonight. Track damp set up. This new track, it's just not. It's going to be a pretty boring race.
All right, well, it'll be a little bit tough to get track position. Hopefully you can get a good start here with a good redraw pull. We have 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6 available for you. What would you like?
Oh, let's go with 6.
I'll take number 6. You wanted a good track position to start. You're going to get it. You're going to be on the outside of row 1. So how do you think that bodes for your chances here tonight?
It will make it interesting. I'm able to lead a lap. That'd be about it for tonight, but yeah, we'll see what happens.
All right, well, let's see if something good will happen for you tonight, and maybe we'll be talking to you a little bit later on. Good luck.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
So Jeff Berner will be rolling off on the outside of pole position.
Yeah, and Kelly, it's interesting. You had some drivers saying it's tight, some drivers saying it's loose, and then some drivers say it's gonna be a snooze fest. We'll have to see how the rest of these drivers feel. Is up next is the driver of the number 5, Scott Austin. And Scott, you come in here tonight with a little bit of momentum here, still trying to figure out these big Grand National cars. What can you expect out of this 5 car here at North Wilkesboro tonight?
Well, we're off to a good start up here talking to you guys. These things are a handful and learning a lot every week, but I'm still pretty far off. So looking to learn more tonight, and hopefully we'll be in the same spot, if better, at the end.
All right, so the poll is still available out there. Numbers to choose from are 1, 2, 4, or 5. What number would you like to choose tonight?
I'll always take the 5.
Always going to take the 5 when available. And that is going to put you on the pole, Scott. You're going to lead us to the green flag. Do you like being able to have all that clean air up on the front of this race car?
I do. I don't know if I can handle that amount of responsibility, but we'll give her hell.
All right, buddy. Well, best of luck here tonight. Congratulations on grabbing the pole here on the J&D Farms Top 8 redraw. And we hopefully will talk to you here at the end of this one.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Scott Austin going to grab that pole, Kelly. The front row is now set. We just have a few spots left to go, and up next will be the driver of the 00, Josh Nelms.
Catching up now with Josh Nelms. And Josh, a few drivers have been saying the car is tight. A couple drivers have been saying it's loose. How are you finding it tonight?
The track is hot and slick, so driving style is going to play a key of whether it's tight, whether it's loose. It's all about tire conservation tonight.
All right, well, let's get to your number here. Good news for you is the back row has already been taken. Bad news is so has the front. We have got numbers 1, 2, and 4 left for you.
Take 2.
Take number 2, and that means you'll be starting back in P6 here tonight. So an outside lane for the start. How do you think that's going to do for the initial start?
We'll see. It's going to be hard for guys to work the bottom and try to get up off the corner, with a car on the outside without getting loose on the bottom. So we'll see how everything goes tonight.
All right, well, let's see how it goes for you. Maybe we'll be talking to you later on. Good luck.
Thank you.
So Josh Nelms will be starting in P6 here tonight. Alan, just the last 2 drivers to go.
Yeah, just got the 91 of Adam Gable, and putting in a good qualifying effort here tonight was the driver for this 91. Adam, good qualifying effort, making it inside the J&D Top 8 redraw. And this race car here, and it's quite a handful with the hot temperatures here today at North Wilkesboro. How's your take?
Feels like I'm on an ice rink.
All right. Well, the good news is you got a 50. You can either start 4th or 5th. All depends on which number you're going to draw out of this hat here. Going to choose either the 1 or the 4. What number would you like?
Let's do 1.
1. You're going to be inside row number 3. You're going to start in P number 5 there. Inside, better. We've seen historically sometimes people like the outside on these starts at North Wilkesboro. What do you think is we're going to see here at North Wilkesboro tonight?
I think the bottom might be there for a little bit, and then I can see guys going to the top throughout the night.
All right, sir. We'll keep a look on that beautifully prepared 91 car. Always a good-looking hot rod. Best of luck here tonight, Adam, and hopefully we're talking to you a little bit later on.
Yep, hopefully.
All right, Adam Gable going to roll off in P number 5, Kelly, and that will put Randy Nichols in P number 6. Or P number 4, excuse me. I'll get there.
Yeah, well, let's tell them the news. Randy, we're catching up with you now. A lot of drivers are complaining about the track temperature. How are you finding it tonight?
Pretty much the same.
Definitely hot and slick. That's what a lot of people have been saying. It's the reading we've got is 127, so I'm sure you're feeling that behind the seat.
Yeah, I mean, it's just sliding all over the place. On corner exit, and then going into the corner, it just doesn't grip up, and yeah, so it's going to be interesting.
Well, good news for you is the drivers have left you a fairly decent starting spot. You will be on the outside of row 2, starting in 4th place here tonight. How do you like that for a starting spot?
Honestly, I really don't know right now. It seems like it's just going to be kind of hit or miss on whether you want to be on the inside or outside, what's going to carry the speed, what's not going to spin out. So, yeah, I think it's going to just be a matter of just not burning the tires off and just, hopefully staying on the track.
Well, 125 laps here for you tonight. Let's see if you can get it done. Good luck to you.
All right, appreciate it, guys.
So Randy Nichols will be rolling off in P4 here tonight, and that will do it for our J&D Farms redraw.
Yeah, what a great redraw. It really shaked up. We've put some of the fast cars out of qualifying at the back of the field. We're going to be able to see how they're going to be able to get through the field here tonight, Kelly, and we want to thank J&D Farms for being our top 8 redraw sponsor for the North-South Racing League's Grand National Series. As the checkered flag waves, Barney waves it over to the field. We'll start to get set here for tonight's 100-lap main event. Qualifying in the books, it was Brian Hacker with the Al Speed Shop Fast Time Award. He'll have to roll back to the 8th spot. So here is your starting lineup for the Moonshine Mile 100. Starting on the pole will be car number 5. That will be Scott Austin. Outside of him, the silver chrome bullet of the 21 of Jeff Bergner. Ryan Johnson will roll off 3rd, and the current high points man, the number 69 of Randy Nichols, will roll off 4th. 5th starting spot will go to Adam Gable. Josh Nelms will roll off 6th. 7th spot to Brian Hacker. And your top 8 car will be the number 77 of J.J. McCrae. Dustin Shepard and Scott Negus will make up row number 5, and Dan Jannon will roll off in the 12th spot.
13th, we'll see the 85 of Austin Williams. Matt Cook in number 15 will be rolling off in P14. 15th sees the 36 of Brian Troyer, and to his outside will be the 12 of Rodney Huntoon. Josh Cole will be rolling off in 17th in that 09 machine with the 1 of Travis Heffler to his outside. Dylan Connor rolls off 19th, the last car that has set a time, and then Robbie Clavey will be shotgun on the field, and alongside the Guillaume Fortin, who will be dropped to the back for winning last week.
Yep, so 20 cars strong here for the Grand National Series here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, and we look forward to bringing you this one as the field paces behind the pace truck, as they will get the 1 to go sign this time by 100 laps here, Kelly, 125 laps here, it looks like. Going to be a good race, I believe. Packed grandstands to see the inaugural running of the North-South Racing League's Grand National Stock Car Series. The field rolls through turns 3 and 4. Green flag is about to come out, and the Moonshine Mile 100 is underway.
Jeff Bergner getting a good launch. He will take the lead right off the bat, and he'll have to try to slide down in front of Scott Austin. Austin trying to get back on the inside. Not going to quite be able to do it on the first lap here, or first turn. Coming through 3 and 4, we see Randy Nichols has been able to slot in front of that 38 of Johnson, while the rest of the field is trying to sort things out behind them. Looks like Adam Gable trying to work the inside. Nelms trying to hold the outside as Brian Hacker continues to try to charge through the field. As he gets a great run off of turn 2, and he'll be to the inside of Gable.
You can see the cars get a little bit free in the rear side there to get too much on the loud pedal as they worked on Brian sideways to lose some ground on Gable. Gable's going to take over that 5th spot once again. Randy Nichols taking a peek to the inside of Scott Austin as your top 3 cars start to put some distance between themselves and Ryan Johnson, who runs there in spot number 4. A little bit deeper in the field, how about J.J. McCrae? He works underneath Nelms. Nelms up on the outside of that racetrack, and I think as these tires wear out, these general tires wear out, that outside might be a place to be on this freshly repaved new configuration of North Wilkesboro that we are racing here today underneath the bright sunlight.
Scott Austin took a look to the inside of Bergner, and now here comes Nichols charging up the inside of Austin. Austin going to try to defend on the outside, coming off of turn 2. Gets a good run down the back straightaway. Had a run to possibly challenge the 21. Oh, Bergner sideways on entry. He's going to be real slow. He's going to try to block the middle, and that's going to force both drivers to have to check up. And now we see Austin looking to the high side, Nichols looking to the bottom. We got a 3-way battle for the race lead, and Ryan Johnson is trying to get himself involved as well.
Yeah, it's a 4-car battle. Up at the front of this one is Randy Nichols. Rolls the bottom side of the racetrack underneath Bergner. Bergner with the momentum on the outside. He'll lead that lap at the line, but 4 cars, 2 by 2. And here comes Brian Hacker underneath the number 91. To be able to see at the right side of your screen as we watch this battle for your race lead. Nichols trying to take the lead, get those early lap sled bonus points. This time off turn before. Will he get it at the line? Timing and scoring says no, not that time. And outside with the momentum there as these cars continue to widen out the North Wilkesboro Speedway, putting on a great show, quite to the contrary of what Bergner said during our top 8 redraw.
At that time, Nichols going to get himself ahead as Bergner gets into the wall, and now the 5 of Austin lunges to the inside of Bergner through turn 1. He's going to get a good launch off of 2. He will take second place, and now Bergner is going to have to defend against Ryan Johnson, who's trying to move himself up as well. Bergner going way up the racetrack here in turn 3, trying to get the momentum off of 4, getting a good run. He'll be able to hold the position at the line that time, but not by much. Now coming through 1 and 2, the 38 sliding way up the track, kind of killing the momentum of the 21 as they come off of turn 2.
And look, J.J. McCrae works in up through, following the number 2 of Hacker, just like he said, as they work around Bergner as they cross the line last time by. We'll see who the fastest car was. Your race leader of Randy Nichols as they work through here is now McCrae working underneath the 21 of Jeff Bergner. That's for the 5th spot as they come off the corner. McCrae able to keep that car pretty straight. Kelly getting a good launch down the straightaway. We'll see what that will keep in mind, these tires, as he tries to make a move up the backstretch as they work down here in the turns 3 and 4. J.J. McCrae down to the inside, trying to work around the 21 of Jeff Bergner. That is a good side-by-side battle, but a little bit deeper in the field. You got Scott Negus making his way up the racetrack into the 8th spot as he looks to chase Josh Nelms. And a little bit further back there, how about Dustin Shepard? He's working the outside of Williams in that 85 car.
And J.J. McCrae still trying to make the move happen on Bergner, and just in front of them, Johnson taking a peek to the inside of Scott Austin. And every time he takes that look, Brian Hacker in that 2 car gets a little bit closer. So we've got a battle for 2nd and 3rd shaping up here, as now coming off of turn 4, Hacker took a look to the inside, tried to see if he could get a better run off the corner, but Johnson had a good line and good momentum through the front straightaway. And now a bit of a slide from Scott Austin. Is that going to provide an opportunity for Johnson to make the move for 2nd place? They're going to have to check up going through turns 3 and 4. Nose to tail coming off the corner that time.
That they are, and they already 15 laps in as Ryan Johnson trying to find a way around the 5 of Austin in that 5 car. That time Austin a little bit up the racetrack in the turns 3 and 4. They will roll off the corner. Ryan Johnson trying to put that power down. Can't quite do so. Will we see a slide job attempt? Not this time through turns 1 and 2. Brian Hacker thinking about making it 3 wide for the moment. Couldn't quite fill the hole. He'll swing to the outside trying to gain some momentum. Johnson down low. Here comes Hacker diamonding off the corner. Great battle for the runner-up spot. All this happening as Randy Nichols continues to stretch that race lead now to 1.2 seconds over this battle for the number 2 spot.
Yeah, he was 0.2 of a second faster that last lap. So while these guys are battling for second place, he's able to just run off and try to open up that gap as much as possible. He's also hoping for these guys to really burn up their tires, and it's looking like they are doing so. They are getting all sorts of sideways, especially off of the corner, and really pushing the cars on entry. So burning up those right sides, both on the front and rear. And while these guys fight, it's also starting to bring JJ McRae in a little closer as well. Hacker looks like he's got a lot of speed, but he has got nowhere to go with Johnson and Austin basically running a roadblock in front of him.
Yeah, and the track not quite widened up there to the 3 wide there. The third groove, as we do know this track very hot and slippery right now, and as these tires wear out, I think they're going to be searching for grip. Kelly, wouldn't be surprised if we see cars all the way from the bottom to the top of this racetrack as Scott Austin keeps creeping up the racetrack, finding that grip to hold off Ryan Johnson with the momentum. Got a great speed. Oh, Johnson sideways underneath them. Somehow stays off of him, but Ryan Johnson gets tagged by Brian Hacker. Here comes Hacker to the outside of the 38 of Johnson, as Johnson was still sliding, this time up the racetrack into the left door. Robbins Racing, and 8 tires sometimes turn better than 4.
He really overheated his tires with that big slide in 3 and 4, and that was what provided the opportunity for Hacker, and now it's going to provide an opportunity for JJ McRae as well. He's going to look to the inside. Is he going to be able to make that inside work? No, big slide, big wiggle. He's going to have to chase it up the racetrack, and now Jeff Bergener is going to get underneath him as McRae tries to recover and tries to fight back. He's going to get a good run down the back straightaway, but he's going to have to leave the bottom side open for that 21 of Bergener. Bergener trying to slide up in there. Oh, big slide coming off the corner as he gets a little too much on the throttle, and now Josh Nelms is going to get alongside Bergener.
And Nelms going to run that momentum around the outside, and he'll hold on to that spot as Bergener slides once again. That opens the outside for the 55, the peak side pub, number 55 of Scott Negus, and he's got the 91 of Adam Gable right there behind him, running in that 9th spot. Dylan Connor up 9 spots from the 19th spot to the top 10 now with that 90 car right there behind him, and Bergner's going to peel off the racetrack. He's going to head to pits.
And Brian Hacker now making an attempt to go after his teammate for second place. He's now to the inside of the 5 of Scott Austin. We've seen that outside lane do quite well for defending, but we've also seen a few passes be able to be made on the inside, and Hacker looks like he's got a lot of speed. We know also that Scott Austin has really pushed his tires, while Hacker seems to have just been kind of slowly picking off the positions while the other drivers make mistakes.
And you see Austin way up into that third groove trying to find that grip, Kelly. And the 38 of Johnson has seemed to cool off his general tires on his Monte Carlo, and he is really closed back in on this battle for the number 2 spot. JJ McRae, he has dialed it back in, and Josh Nelms, he's really coming into this booth. You're going to have a 5-car battle for the runner-up spot here momentarily.
Meanwhile, Randy Nichols has opened a 3-second gap because of all of these fights for second place. So Nichols continues to just run away as he puts about 0.2 of a second on these guys every single lap. Scott Austin goes way up the racetrack trying to figure out where the grip is and where he can get momentum on the high side. He will try to fight back against Hacker, but Hacker is slowly pulling ahead, and he is bringing both Johnson and McRae along with him.
Almost had him clear. This time looks like he's got the 5 cleared as he'll slide up the racetrack. So Brian Hacker to the number 2 spot with the number 2 car. Now Austin under attack as Ryan Johnson works to the inside as they work here through turns 3 and 4. 30 laps in. It looks like Josh Cole and Jeff Bergner have called it quits here tonight out of this one, and Robbie McClavey down 1 lap there in the 18th spot. That time Johnson with a good run underneath Scott Austin. He's looking to bring the 77 of McRae. And McRae going to not get there as Austin relegated back to the 4th spot. As they all chase Randy Nichols, who is just gone. He's entering turn number 3. About a straightaway lead now for the Moonies number 69 of Randy Nichols, the driver out of Texas. And he is out front just minding his own business, running that inside lane, not really having to push that race car awfully hard.
Now he's been able to save his tires while everyone else has been battling for position. And now, even though Hacker has got himself some clear track, it's going to be hard for him to catch up because he's had to really push those tires, really lean on the right sides. And looking at the lap times, it is going to be an advantage to Nichols still. As, yeah, it's much smaller of a gap, but he's still increasing his lead. JJ McCrae now, he's under pressure from Josh Nelms. Nelms is looking at the inside that time off of turn 2. Nelms looking to see if he can move himself up in the top 5 and maybe get himself into a better, maybe one of the podium positions later on.
He was a little bit deeper in the pack. Dustin Shepard and Travis Hoffler battling it, and that's for the 12th spot. That is where Shepard resides, and they've also got the 15 of Cook right there as well, trying to battle his way up here. Last week's winner, Guillaume Fortin, Kelly, I don't know if you've been keeping an eye on him. He has quietly made his way to the 9th spot here in all this green flag racing. 35 laps completed as they worked their way. Guillaume Fortin up to the 9th spot after starting 20th.
We have got a battle for 4th place as Scott Austin has been under pressure from JJ McCrae. McCrae was looking on the inside, nearly made a pass, but Austin really cooked the tires coming off one of the corners, somehow got momentum off of that, was able to surge ahead. And now Josh Nelms is trying to see if he can make a move maybe on the outside. And now we got Scott Negus getting himself involved as well. So there's battles all throughout the top 5. Even into the top 10, and now just a few spots behind them, there's that 13 QC of Guillaume Fortin. Oh, caution is out though, so that is going to most likely bring the entire field down pit road, and looks like it may have involved Dustin Shepard.
And Dustin Shepard going around in the spin cycle. Looks like a little bit of damage to the right rear. We'll take a look and see what happened to the Zufab Garage, number 89, to come out as he was racing with Hoffler. Coming off of turn number 4. Oh, got loose up into the outside fence, and both Matt Cook and Travis Hoffler make contact to the 89. Looks like both able to continue on as we come back to some live pictures. Everybody coming down pit road, being led by your race leader, the 69 of Randy Nichols.
Is the entire field coming down for pit stops. We'll see what the drivers elect to take. I'm guessing mainly it's going to be right sides, but we did see last week a few drivers taking lefts, and it looks like Nichols will take all 4. So we'll see if anyone else is going to risk it and try to take 2 and maybe jump him for the lead, but it looks like Nichols is the first one out of his box.
And Nichols is going to come out as Robbie Clavey going to get back on the lead lap. Pretty much how they came in is how they're going to come off the pit road, Kelly. So everybody elect.
I think Nelms, Connor, and Jan may have taken 2 tires. They were about 4 or 5 seconds faster than everyone else in their stops.
It definitely looks like Nelms taking a 2-tire stop, a 9.98 second pit stop. Most everyone else in the 14 to 15 second range. Robbie Clavey down on pit road after getting the free pass. And his beautiful pair, number 73, he'll roll off of pit road. Our first yellow flag being brought to us by Mad Plowing, where they specialize in snow removal during the winter and moving services all summer long. Whether it's clearing your driveway or keeping your lawn in pristine shape, they've got you covered. Call 608-217-3528 for all your landscaping and snow removal needs. Yellow flag about to be extinguished as the field rolls on out, and we are back underway, and Nichols, hard on the loud pedal, jumps out to a big lead down in the turn number 1.
I think Hacker may have spun the tires. It looked like there was a bit of a wiggle from his car coming off of turn 4, and that allowed Nichols to not only jump out to the lead, but Johnson to get up alongside him while everyone is battling for position here. Only a few drivers have been able to find some clear track, one of them being Scott Austin just behind the 2 and the 38 of Hacker and Johnson. He's trying to see if one of those drivers will make a mistake or maybe kill their momentum so he can make a move.
We're on board with the J&D Farms onboard camera with Scott Austin as he is out front, or runs in that 4th spot, currently in 4th as he looks to chase down those race leaders. Remember, Scott led us to the green flag as he works there. Good battle back there. How about the 85 of Austin Williams working the outside there, a little bit deeper in the field. In the 7th spot, he's under pressure from the 90 of Dylan Connor. Connor trying to dig down low, and he's got Guillaume Fortin, last week's winner at the Phoenix International Raceway. This is our last race of 2025, Kelly.
Yeah, there will be a 2-week break after this when a lot of these drivers will be back home visiting family, so give them the opportunity. And we've got a lot of pressure coming from Dylan Connor on Austin Williams. He's trying to make that move. Guillaume has got some speed. He's going to actually get a good run off the corner. And big slide from the 85 of Williams. He's going to have to check way up. Nearly lost the car, but makes a great save, but loses a number of positions. And that was a big opportunity for Guillaume Fortin, as he was able to pass both Dylan Connor and Austin Williams just off of that one mistake. And now he's able to jump himself up into 7th place.
How about the save, though, by Williams? I know he lost some spots, falls back to the 10th spot. Then a little bit of a door check by the 91 of Gable there for a moment, and able to hold on to it, and he is back on the chase. Meanwhile, up front, Randy Nichols leads over Brian Hacker. Top 5 cars, single file, as they work off of turn number 2 and up the backstretch here at North Wilkesboro. We haven't really touched upon that, Kelly. You carry a lot more speed in the turn number 1 as you go downhill. These drivers hard on the brakes there, go uphill in 3 and 4. This track very unique, and it's good to see multiple groups of racing available here tonight for the Moonshine Mile 100 at the North Wilkesboro Speedway.
And Guillaume Fortin just moved himself up into 6th place, got by Josh Nelms in the last lap very quickly. I don't know if Nelms just kind of saw the speed that he was carrying and let him by, or if he maybe had to check up coming off the corner, but Guillaume just sailed by through turn 4, and now he has got his sights set on trying to catch the rest of the leaders. Meanwhile, Dustin Shepard seems to be bringing that 89 car back down pit road. He may not have got all his damage fixed after that spin.
Yeah, just noticed Dan Janjanin also down on pit road. Trouble for the driver that came in 3rd in points in the standings.
There was actually an incident between the two of them. I'm surprised they did not bring out a caution. Janjanin was completely sideways. It looks like he lost the car on the front straightaway, and it ended up bouncing off the inside wall and sliding up into the 89 of Shepard. So that is what caused both those drivers to be down there. And that's basically the same thing that happened to Josh Cole. That's why he has called it early here tonight. He spun it on the front straightaway and nosed hard into the inside wall. So it has been a bit of a theme here tonight, as these cars are very loose coming off of the corner. A little bit too much on that right foot will easily kick that rear end out.
Yeah, tough break there as both those drivers sit down on pit road. Shepard and Janjanin, as the battle for the race lead still Randy Nichols, but Nichols' car showing a little bit of slidiness off of the corners, and has allowed Brian Hacker to close in momentarily. But as I say that, Nichols starting to pull away as Hacker feels the pressure from Ryan Johnson. He must have eaten his Wheaties here tonight, Kelly. He is looking pretty spry and a lot of pressure to the 2025 Street Stock Champion, presented by Sandy Paws, as he currently pressures the number 2 of Brian Hacker.
Yeah, it looks like he has got a lot of pace, but it's one thing to be faster than another driver. It's another thing to pass them, but they have got some lap traffic coming up there that may cause a bit of a shakeup here. Brian Troyer in that 36 car are going to have to try to take the high side and try to stay out of the way here as our leaders come through. Ryan Johnson, running some fantastic laps, but Brian Hacker that time able to pull out just a little bit of a gap.
Yeah. In your race leader, 20.199 last time to your 2 cars behind him with a 20.2. Scott Austin was the fastest car 1 lap ago with a 197 fast lap. As they come off the corner. Right now, Chevrolet leads over the Ford of Brian Hacker here on lap number 60 as they work through turns 1 and 2 and up the back stretch. Nichols, you're still your race leader. And Kelly, it could really trouble. He comes in as your championship leader. And Randy Nichols seems to have a good grasp on these Grand National stock cars.
Has been running some good races so far, but we have got a battle starting to shape up here for 4th place. Scott Austin is under pressure from JJ McRae, and Guillaume Fortin as well as getting himself involved as McRae gets a good run on the entry. Oh, a bit of a slide coming off of turn 4. It's going to give an opportunity for McRae. He's going to come down on the inside, side by side into turn 1. Austin going to send it right up the racetrack, and now as he gets a good launch off of turn 2, that's going to give Guillaume Fortin a gap as well. So he's going to try to get past on the high side around JJ McRae, and he is going to get it done off of turn 4.
Yeah, nice move by Guillaume Fortin. Now Fortin on the attack. He'll get to the outside of the 5 of Scott Austin, and Guillaume Fortin on the move. Started 20th here tonight. Now finds himself in that 5th spot, looking for 4th here, just past the halfway point of tonight's 125 lap affair. If this one stays good, I believe we're going to have at least one more pit stop. Would you agree, Kelly?
I believe they'll have at least one more stop as well. We're just past the halfway point. There's I don't think we got information exactly how many laps the cars would last, but judging by how many, big slide on the back straightaway. That's Robbie Clavey sideways and around as he nosed into the inside wall as he got just a little too much of that right pedal, and that sent him around. He's now going to try to get his car sorted out here, get himself back underway. Thankfully down on the apron and off of the racing surface, but that's going to put him down another lap as Randy Nichols goes by.
Yeah, and yellow flag does not fly, so we stay green. I think some drivers saw that car sitting on there, was hoping for a yellow flag that did not fly. So Barney being very selective with that yellow flag, and as Randy Nichols still leads, is everyone still chasing that number 69. Brian Hacker in the battle for second with Ryan Johnson has seemed to simmer. Let's go a little bit deeper in the field. We'll take a look at the 12 of Rodney Huntoon. He's applying the pressure to the 15 of Matt Cook, who sits in the 13th spot. Everyone kind of single filing it out, trying to catch their breath as these drivers hard at work here at the North Wilkesboro Speedway.
These drivers just trying to manage their tire temperatures on a very hot track, and we've been mentioning how it's hot, and we haven't mentioned how hot it's gotten now. As these drivers are driving around and putting more heat into it, the surface is now up to 131 Fahrenheit. So that is cooking. That is basically melting these tires as they go around, not only making it hard to grip, but also just hard to keep some life in those things.
Yeah, and this track, I haven't really been on it since the repave of this racetrack, but the old version was very abrasive to the tires. Gotta wonder if that is how this one is, as we got one car on pit road. It looks like to be Robbie Clavey coming down pit road with the 73 car, so his trouble continues to woe. Is now the 12 of Huntoon, tries to make a move as the 15 of Cook able to hold on there. Dylan Connor is Travis Hoffler right there behind him, rounding out your top 10 as well. So Everyone kind of just getting into a groove, knowing that that final pit stop is coming. And I believe they're going to wait and see if we do get a mad plowing yellow flag before coming down. One more time here tonight at the North Wilkesboro Speedway.
So quick update, both Dan Janjanin and Dustin Shepard have parked it. A little bit too much damage to those cars, so that is going to be a big opportunity in the points for Guillaume Fortin as he came in just 2 points behind Dan Janjanin. And now Janjanin will be finishing in 18th place. So this will allow Guillaume to get a good points haul here as he makes a move to the inside of Scott Austin there, going down into turn 3. JJ McCrae trying to get himself involved as well. He sticks his nose in there just below the 5 of Austin, and a big slide from McCrae though. He is not going to get a good run down the front straightaway, but Guillaume is still going to be side by side with Scott Austin. Austin getting a good run on the high side as Guillaume slides it through the middle of turn 4. And it's still going to be the 5 of Austin ahead here, coming through 3 and 4, coming off of the corner. We've seen that outside lane just be so dominant coming off of turn 4. And once again, it will be Scott Austin, and he'll completely clear Guillaume going into turn 1. Now here comes JJ McCrae off 2.
McCrae with a look to the inside of Guillaume Fortin. He'll get up to the left rear quarter panel. Can he draw even with his Ford Mustang? They go out the corner to the outside, just too strong currently as Guillaume Fortin with a lot of momentum up into that 3rd lane. Can he find some grip there? Gets a little bit sideways off of turn number 2. Guillaume Fortin, Austin, and McCrae battling it out for that 4th spot as they work off of turn number 4. Nichols out front has grown to lead to 1.4 over Brian Hacker and Ryan Johnson. They still run nose to tail. The best battle on the racetrack is the one that we are watching as Scott Austin holds off Guillaume Fortin and JJ McCrae at the time. Here comes a good run for the 13 of Fortin. Slips up a little bit off turn number 4.
Yeah, Guillaume feels like he's got the faster car, but he just cannot find the line that will get him around Scott Austin. Austin has just been able to run that outside so well here tonight. It makes him very difficult to pass. I mean, we've seen a number of drivers struggle to pass him here tonight. I think the only one that was able to do it really well was, I think it was Hacker was able to get the pass done, but even still, that took him like 10 laps to finish it. And now here comes McCrae on the outside of Guillaume. And is that outside lane gonna be the strong one here tonight? Is Guillaume gonna lose a spot here to McCrae as McCrae runs the top side? Good run off of the corner, and McCrae will be ahead at the line. Let's see here through 1 and 2. It is still going to be that high side, so JJ McCrae now moving himself up back into the top 5.
Does, and he's still working the outside groove through turns 3 and 4. Going to move past the 13 of Fortin. Fortin into the outside wall. Doesn't seem to hurt him, but now they will go back on the attack of the 5. Austin with a little bit of bad entry off or exit off turn 2. Allows McCrae. Can he get to the outside quarter panel? McCrae not this time. Off of 4. Does he try to do the crossover? No, he stays in line. And look at him chase that car down the front stretch. Every which way but straight. Now the 5 of Austin sideways once again off 2. McCrae right to the back trunk lid into turn number 3. Can J.J. McCrae make a move on the number 5 of Scott Austin?
Here he goes to the inside through turn 1. Oh, he's actually going to get up into the side of Scott Austin. Both drivers go for a small slide, but just the nature of turn 1 and just kind of how you end up sliding it up the racetrack, that end up catching them, and they are able to get back into the right direction here. Guillaume trying to make take advantage of the overheated tires, but he slides off of turn 4, so he will not be able to get the move done. And look at the tire marks going into turn 1 and coming off of the corner as well. These guys are really abusing the tires here tonight.
And we got a battle for your runner-up spot. Ryan Johnson taking a look to the inside of Brian Hacker as the battle back there is between Austin McCrae and Fortin. Ryan Johnson taking the peek to the inside, trying to put that Wheaties number 38 into the number 2 spot, and this time off turn number 4. Looks like he is going to have the 2 of Brian Hacker cleared. Can he chase down Randy Nichols here after 86 laps of racing in the Moonshine Mile 100. Johnson, Bass, Hacker. Back though, we go back to the battle as McRae took a peek to the inside of Austin. Can he do that this time through turns 3 and 4? McRae down low, digging as hard as he can, draws even, but the momentum's still too much. On the outside with that Austin Designs, number 5. Trying to hold off JJ McRae will do so just for the time being.
Well, we saw that Johnson was able to make the pass work on the inside lane, so that is a viable option. It's just very difficult to do so if that guy is good at running the high side like Scott Austin has been here tonight. We're looking at Guillaume looking to the high side, trying to see if he can find a gap to get back around JJ McRae, but he's not able to find anything as Austin Williams gets a big slide coming off the corner behind them, and that is going to allow Dylan Connor to get to his outside and make the pass coming off of turn 4.
50 laps since the last time these drivers were on pit road, and this is the longest stint on these tires, so we're into unknown territory for some of these drivers, especially with how hard they have been pushing these race cars on what these tire limits are going to allow as they all work their McRae right to the back bumper. And I love that these drivers are really working this race car. The wheels inside going back and forth. It's not just easy driving out here tonight, and these drivers are really fighting for every inch of grip that they can find. McRae right to the back bumper, almost pushing Scott Austin off of turn number 4. McRae right there trying to find a way to get into the 4th spot as Ryan Johnson closes. Now Brian Hacker heads down pit road. Hacker, the first of our leaders to hit pit road.
He's trying to get himself down pit road, get those fresh tires on, maybe make up the advantage that way. As Scott Austin, a bit of a slide off of 4, and that's going to allow JJ McRae to get to his outside. So McRae finally finds the outside lane of Scott Austin. Austin goes right down to the apron, and now he's going to come down pit road. So Scott Austin pulls pin, and he will head down and change those tires as well. Now JJ McRae will take over 3rd place. Guillaume has a bit of a slide back there, and now Dylan Connor pretty much coming out of nowhere. He's got himself into the top 5.
Yeah, Connor would have looked down to the inside of Guillaume Fortin as they work here. Randy Nichols still leads 1.9 seconds over Johnson. Then it's another 6 seconds back to the 77 of McRae. Is now the 13 of Fortin feeling the pressure as they all work around here. We'll have to look and see how this will pan out if we get a full pit cycle here. If the short pitting by Brian Hacker will pay off. We've seen it pay off as your race leader. He pulls off. It's going to give Ryan Johnson the race lead.
And we'll see how long Johnson will go, because Johnson is actually going really quick comparatively to really the rest of the field these last few laps. He's been able to put down some fairly quick time. So is he going to try to pull off the overcut and just try to go as long as possible and have some fresh tires towards the end? We will have to see, but he is going to stay out for at least one more lap as JJ McRae is now going to be running in 2nd place and is still under pressure from Dylan Connor.
Yeah, Fortin, Williams, and Nichols down on pit road right this second. This time down the back stretch, it'll still be Johnson out front as he leads over McRae, Connor, Negus, and Hoffler. Your only 5 cars yet to pit. So we'll have to see how this all breaks out. Right now, Brian Hacker is leapfrogged to 69 of Randy Nichols by short pitting. Oh, really short pitting, but leading our first cars to pit as they all work here behind Ryan Johnson. Dylan Connor now 2nd, McRae 3rd, Negus and Hoffler your top 5.
Another thing to point out, it looks like Hacker did 2 tires while Nichols did all 4, so that would be another reason why he was able to jump him, and by quite a bit as well, as Nichols is about 2.5 seconds back of Hacker, but he is going to be able to put down some quick laps. So if this stays green, I would expect to see the 69 eventually chase down the 2 of Hacker.
Yeah, last time by Hacker ran a 20.0 to Nichols' 1972, so almost 3/10 different or over 3/10 difference between those two drivers, one lap or a lap ago, and once again, Nichols consistently the fastest car on the racetrack.
And Ryan Johnson is continuing to stay out on the racetrack, as well as Dylan Connor. Connor was running fairly similar lap times to him, that time a little bit slower. JJ McCrae, Scott Negus, and Travis Hoffler have all elected to continue staying out on the racetrack and just try to push as long as they can. I think they just want to have those fresh tires towards the end. So these guys that have came down early may jump them here early on when they come out, or since they've been lapping on these fresh tires, but they're going to have those things basically burned off by the time these top 5 eventually come down and pit. As the 55 of Negus has a big slide there right in front of Brian Hacker, and now he is slow in front of Randy Nichols. Nichols going to have to try to go to the bottom, see if he can try to get around that car. Those guys are not battling for position, so Nichols is going to quickly pass that 55 of Negus.
And Dylan Connor starting to cut into your race leader's lead here with 21 laps to go. Question comes into mind. These drivers were last on pit road around lap 39. Could they make it the distance on fuel? Will they keep these drivers at bay and a lap down? That is the question at bay, as we did not get a lot of good numbers. The crew chiefs were not very talkative in the garage area this afternoon, as Randy Nichols has now worked around Brian Hacker, which potentially could be for the race win.
Yeah, this could be the race win here, and that was just the difference there between the tires as they go around JJ McCrae, who is still out there on those beat up old tires, nearly 70 laps old, those things that he's got on that race car. So at some point here, Johnson, Connor, McCrae, Negus, and Hoffler have got to pit. And you just got to wonder, is this going to be the right call staying out this long?
And Hoffler coming down pit road, so he's going to give up that 5th spot potentially as he comes down pit road with 18 laps to go. As Ryan Johnson still no shines to coming down pit road.
We'll see what the strategy call is going to work out for him, and also if he's going to elect to take 2 or 4 tires. He has got a lap car to his outside. That is Matt Cook, and he's just going to let that 15 car by, as the 15 of Cook just has so much fresher tires than him.
And on board with that 38 car, it sounds like he's clutching that car. Kelly could be trying to make it on fuel. It'll be interesting to see if he can make it another 15 circuits when he crosses the line. Does Ryan Johnson have enough Sunoco race fuel in that 38 car to make it to the end of this one?
He's definitely slowed up on his lap times. It's down to about 20.5, so he is really lifting and coasting, and like you said, clutching that car as well, trying to see if he can make it all the way. So this may not be a question of tires for him. He's gone for the fuel call, as he's going to try to see if he can get it all the way to the end. We are under 15 to go. Looks like I think it's 14 laps left here on in the race. So it is going to be very tight for that 38 car.
And you got to remember, though, he came into tonight's standings after 2 rounds of this Grand National Stock Car Series, just 4 points behind Randy Nichols. So Nichols trying to minimize the point loss, but if Ryan Johnson can hold on to win, that's going to send a statement headed in to our winter break. Nichols getting around there. Dylan Connor now on pit road. I just don't see how Ryan Johnson can make it another 12 laps. To you, Kelly?
He has been working on saving fuel ever since that pit stop. It could be possible, but it is going to be tight. And we're going to have to keep an eye on that 38 car, because at any moment that thing could sputter and he would have to dive down to pit road. And I think with how long he's been out there and compared to the rest of the field, that would definitely be the end of his chances, because here comes Randy Nichols just a few seconds behind now, trying to take back his lap. And at that point, after the pit stop, he would be way back compared to Nichols. So and even with the fresh tires, he would not have enough time. And Johnson's lap times have plummeted along with JJ McRae's. He's now down to a 20.9.
Yeah, and McRae staying on the racetrack, and I don't think Nichols is going to going to put a fight up when Nichols gets there. Nichols draws even down the front stretch, and Johnson just lets him go. Well, fights back a little bit now on the outside, but Nichols gets by to get back on the lead lap with 9 laps to go. Can Ryan Johnson hold on for the call of the year, to hold on to trying to win here at North Wilkesboro on a strategy call? McRae some 9.5 seconds back now. Nichols getting by, does not have enough time, Kelly, I do not believe, to get there with 7 to go this time for the 38.
Yeah, just watch Johnson essentially move out of the way to allow the 55 of Negus by, and now he's going to basically do the same here for Josh Nelms, as he is only focused on making it on fuel. He does not care about his lap time. He's just trying to will that car just the last few miles to get himself across the line first here, as JJ McRae seems to be doing the same, but he is about 11 seconds back, and McRae is way down on pace.
Yeah, right last time by, you see the 21.4 for Johnson to a 22.3 for McRae, and you can tell the guys that went down pit road running in the low 20s. Second bracket, the 38, that time a little bit of a wiggle. 5 laps to go for Ryan Johnson. Can he make it here at North Wilkesboro on fuel? Johnson slowed down the backstretch, stays out though. Here comes Brian Hacker. Hacker going to get to the back side of Johnson to try to get that lap. McRae's on pit road, Kelly. He assumed looks to be out of fuel.
Yeah, I don't think he's even got any fuel left in his car. No, that thing is silent. He is basically coasting it to his box. He went as long as he possibly could, but just could not make it to the end. However, Johnson is still out there. He's still making it work. He passes pit entry, as he will come to take lap 123, just 3 laps to go, but he is extremely slow, 21.3 that last time. He's basically just puttering that thing around the track. Randy Nichols has got 13 seconds he has to try to make up to see if he can beat Johnson to the line, and with how Johnson is going slow, it's almost viable.
Yeah, 2 laps to go. Hoyer has to slam on the hooks to try to not get by him. It's 36 to Troyer. Johnson down the backstretch will bypass pit road one more time. The white silk will fly. The final trip around the North Wilkesboro Speedway right here as Johnson goes low off the corner. Could he be out of fuel? He's going extremely slow. Can he coast?
He's out of fuel.
Johnson is out. Can he coast? Does he have enough momentum? Up the backstretch, he wiggles the car. The lead down to 9 seconds. Can he coast to the victory? Nichols working down the backstretch this time, but off a turn number 4. Johnson rolling ever so slow. Where is Nichols? At the line. It's going to be Johnson coasting to victory.
That was an entire lap with no fuel. He got a little bit of a spurt that I heard off of turn 2 when he shook the car and was able to get a little bit of fuel into the pickup, but that was it. Ryan Johnson basically just coasted the entire rest of the way.
And that car is silent. Is he going to need a push to victory lane as Ryan Johnson unofficially going to become your victor here at North Wilkesboro? I don't know if he's got enough speed to make it to victory lane. It looks like he did. 2 complete laps of coasting to get to victory lane here tonight. Incredible.
Yeah, what a drive from Johnson to be able to make the fuel last all that way and then some, and he is not able to back into line there for the photo. He's just going to have to be parked, and that is going to be where Johnson's going to be.
He's going to unbuckle the 38 out of the 38 car, and as he does that, we are going to head downstairs for tonight's post-race show. Once again, brought to us by Sim Racer Hub. And Sim Racer Hub is the place where leagues keep it organized. From schedules to rosters to points, stats, and standings, Sim Racer Hub makes running a league simple so drivers can focus on racing. If you're looking to track your league the easy way, check out simracerhub.com, the official post-race show and sponsor of the North-South Racing League. And Kelly is downstairs standing next to a smirking 38 of Ryan Johnson, who's going to come home victorious here tonight.
Gonna catch up now with Ryan Johnson. And Ryan, we heard that you were completely out of gas. At what point did the engine quit on you?
Honestly, it was like a lap and a half to go. Dude, those those last 20 laps, I was clutching. Yeah, I was saving a little early in the run because I'm like, man, it's really close. I feel. I'm like, I think I could save a few laps, but then it looked like the gap was growing, so I started driving a little harder, used up some more gas. Last 20 laps, I was clutching like crazy. The last 10 laps, I was shutting the car off because I'm like, oh man, I don't think I'm gonna make it. And I think with like 3 to go, I had a 1/10 of a gallon left, and I was just doing everything I could. Especially on the front stretch going downhill, shutting it off, coasting as much as possible. And yeah, I think maybe it was coming to the white. It had quit on me, and I'm like, okay, coast down the front stretch. I'll try out of 2 to get a little bit. It sputtered and like surged a couple times out of 2, and it was kind of fate at that point. I couldn't do anything else. I don't know how it worked. I didn't expect it to, especially when we got down to the end there. But man, I wasn't gonna be able to beat Randy or Hacker straight up tonight, I don't think, and I had to do something different. I don't know.
Oh, we did see a lot of battling, at least that you were involved in earlier on, and with how hot the track was, how hard was it to make a pass stick?
Oh, it was a royal pain. Especially on the bottom, if they were pinching you just a little bit. Trying to avoid contact and trying to get up off the corner with the track as hot as it was. The tires were just so slick. You'd eat the right rear off so quickly. The car was just really loose. Even getting into the corner, if you braked a little too hard, you were going around. There was one point earlier in the race, I think I drifted 3 and 4 pretty good, and then I got a bump as soon as I got straight from Hacker. I'm like, give me a second. I'm trying to get going. But I just thank him for not, dumping me there. But yeah, the cars were a handful tonight. My arms are sore.
Well, in a couple weeks' time, we'll be going to the old configuration of Atlanta, our first intermediate of the season. And what are you expecting from that track?
Well, if it's hot Atlanta like it normally is, hopefully we get some of what we saw tonight, but on a bigger scale. I love old Atlanta. It's so much fun to drive. There's so many grooves you can race. I'm looking forward to it. I just hope we have another good race. And yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for coming out and talking to us. Before we let you go, though, who would you like to thank for your run here tonight?
Yeah, just all the admins that NSRL put in the league on. You guys up in the booth for broadcasting. My team After Dark, or Tiny Horse Stables, or whatever you want to call us. Randy was fast tonight, so was Hackers. So, it's always an honor to beat them guys, even if it was, luck, whatever you want to call it. But we'll take it. This points battle is so close so far, and I think it's going to be fun. And oh yeah, everyone tuning and watching, and yeah, we'll see y'all next week.
All right, well, thanks for coming out, and hopefully we'll be hearing from you in a couple weeks' time when we go back to Atlanta.
Thanks, guys.
So that was Ryan Johnson, able to make the fuel last, or really didn't quite make it last, but just enough for him to coast across the line with the win here tonight, Al.
It was, and Ryan Johnson gonna be victorious here in a fuel mileage race, and a driver that came in leading the points, I believe, going to leave leading the points will come up in our runner-up spot, and that would be the driver of the 69 of Randy Nichols, and we'll pull Randy aside here. He's debriefing with his pit crew momentarily to see. Randy, you come up one spot shy, but led a race high lap amount. Going to come out of here looking fairly good with that points battle starting to tighten up as we head into the holiday season.
Yeah, that was a interesting race, to say the least.
I mean, it looked like you had the car quite figured out. They're able to pull away with those on those restarts, pull out to massive leads. And the cars looked pretty stable for you. We watched the other drivers really fighting this race car. How was the conditions out there for you guys racing around this North Wilkesboro Speedway?
I mean, it was slick. If you gave it an extra little bit of throttle on corner exit, I mean, you were going to get loose. I mean, it was so easy to slide the tires. So, yeah, I mean, like, I was just trying to be as patient as possible, and I was actually pretty surprised with how easy I was being on it coming out of the corners, that I was able to get that kind of a lead. But I mean, it makes sense. Like, I know the guys behind me were battling in that first green flag run, and I think that's what helped. And then after that, I mean, Brian kept it pretty close to me for a little while, and then I think he and Ryan started to kind of battle it out a little bit, so was able to kind of pull away. But yeah, I mean, it was very, very slick, and I mean, I enjoyed it, not just because I led a bunch, but I really enjoyed having to be that consistent with keeping the car straight like that.
And really uncontested all night long here. Had to come down on lap 92 on the pits, and then you really set the fire. You had the fastest lap of the race with a 19:57. Everything was really clicking here. Just that Sunoco race fuel kind of burnt up on you. Had to come down pit road. Did you think after you unlapped yourself you might get back there and have a chance?
I mean, I thought everybody was gonna have to pit. I mean, even after that caution, you know, we're all still like 5 to 7 laps short, and you know, I came early in hopes of, you know, Ryan trying to run along and just maybe catch a caution and catch a bunch of us a lap down or something like that. And you know, I came down and took 4 to, you know, try to build a gap, and so that way when we got back to Ryan, if we unlapped ourselves and he had to come down and pit, even if he took a splash and go, that I was able to kind of probably gap him. But you know, he was able to, you know, really save his fuel. I think he said he was clutching it halfway down the straightaway, and you know, I think once Brian and I pitted, that's probably what allowed him to start doing that and to just save that fuel. Like, I can't believe he was able to save that much, honestly.
It was quite an astonishing feat that he did, but not too shabby for yourself as well. Going to lead the most laps here, come home runner-up, and going to lead the point standings heading into the season break. We kick things back off at Atlanta after the holidays. We look forward to seeing you there, but we know you got a bunch of people that make all this racing possible here for you on Monday nights for the NSRL. Who makes it all possible for you?
I just want to thank my girlfriend, my dad. He watches every race, and you know, thanks to you guys.
All right, Randy, congratulations. Happy holidays, sir. Stay safe, and we look forward to see you at the start of the 2026 season.
All right, I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
All right, Randy Nichols going to come home in that runner-up spot. Kelly, sounds a little dejected, but a good night overall for him.
Yeah, but now we're going to be catching up with the last of our podium finishers here now with Brian Hacker. And Brian, it did not seem like it was an easy night for you. It looked like there was battles all throughout the race for you.
Yeah, learned a lot, which is kind of what we're here to do. So it was fun. Car was a handful. I certainly wasn't. I had short run speed, didn't have the long run speed that Randy had. Certainly couldn't stretch the fuel mileage like the 38. I don't know how he did that, to be totally honest with you, but I thought overall, good run. I mean, we're thrilled with a podium in these cars, considering this is my first, well, second now ever league race, first one that's not a super speedway. So to come home third, happy with it. Wish we would have made a few different decisions there towards the end, but you know, it is what it is. I think we'll learn from them and hopefully be that much better here later in the season.
Well, with the street stocks nearly being all at night for their races, it's coming to here where we're going to be under the sun pretty much all the time, and with the hot track surfaces, I mean, how much is that really changing the game for you?
I mean, it's a totally different driving style. So, I mean, with the street stocks, there were a few nights that, you know, those things have absolutely zero downforce. So there were a few nights that they were pretty tail happy, but there were also several other nights that they felt really planted, and this thing really only felt planted, you know, maybe for 5 or so laps after you got the tires up to temp. So, and even then you didn't really want to push it too hard because you didn't want to use up all the good in them. So I'm kind of slowly figuring out what this looks like, but it's fun. It's different. It's like I said, I'm happy with a podium. With the street stocks and the late models, I kind of come into the night hoping that, or expecting that I hopefully should be talking to you guys at the end of the night. And with these things, man, I'm just I'm basically thrilled to finish on the lead lap, but to get us on the podium's even better.
Well, you're going to have a couple of weeks to prepare. Do you think you're going to be ready for Atlanta on the 5th of January?
Nope. But we'll be here. I have no idea. You put me on the short tracks and it levels the playing field a little bit, because I guess if you want to call me a short track specialist, that's kind of what I am. I don't run these NASCAR style cars really anywhere. So you put me on a big track, I will likely be out to lunch. So I think it's the old configuration though, which means it won't be a drafting track. It'll be save your tires. Should be at least interesting, but full season this season, just with other commitments that I've got. So we're out trophy hunting, but Atlanta probably will not be on our radar for landing a trophy this season.
Well, before we let you go, Brian, who would you like to thank here for your third place run tonight?
Scott Austin Designs, always putting together good looking rides. Kind of a cool throwback on this one with the NASCAR style body styles. Thanks to everybody else that supports us, Carbon Junction, Aberdeen Lodge, Boulder Beer Bar, you guys for coming out and doing this, league for always giving us a fun place to race in the real racing off season, and all the sponsors that make this all possible to bring you guys aboard and give us something to do on Monday nights.
All right, well, thanks for coming out and talking to us, Brian, and hopefully we'll be hearing from you in the new year.
Hope so. Thanks, guys.
So Brian Hacker says he learned a lot here tonight, and maybe we'll see if he can bring it back here in Atlanta.
Yeah, Atlanta's going to be a fun race. You're not going to want to miss that one when it comes live back here to the season. We'll kick back off January 5th at the old styled Atlanta. It's going to be interesting to see how this car reacts and how many different lines we're going to have. Kind of looking forward to that one as well, Kelly. But another great night, a good way to end the 2025 racing season, as that was your post-race show presented by Sim Racer Hub. Well, Kelly, we end the season with a tight points battle, as they have 2 weeks to get their cars prepared for the holiday, during the holiday season, and then it's all gas pedal down from January 5th to the season ending February 16th. It's going to be an interesting race, a lot of short tracks. We got some big tracks in there, and all roads will lead to the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway for the season finale on February 16th. But Kelly, I hope you have a good holiday during these next couple weeks off. We hope you, the viewer, enjoy this one as well. Final thoughts as we leave North Wilkesboro.
It being a fairly interesting race. There was some good battling throughout the out the field. And it really came down to the drivers saving their tires to be able to make these passes. But at the end, it turned out to really be a fuel mileage race that only one driver was able to pull off. I'm excited, though, to see how things will be done here in Atlanta. It is going to be a bit of a shakeup, as most of the schedule is short tracks, but in Atlanta, we'll be out on the old configuration, a traditional intermediate, and we'll see what these guys are able to do there.
Absolutely, and looks forward to that one. You see where your favorite driver finished here tonight in what was a fantastic way to end the 2025 season. If you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button to get notified every time Turn 3 Racing Network goes live, especially with the North-South Racing League. We thank you all for tuning on in here tonight. We hope to see you in 2 weeks' time. Have a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and a Happy New Year. We'll see you in 2026. For Kelly Dahl, I am Upstate Al. Have a good night, and we'll see you in Turn 3. Good night, everybody.